Hello everybody, welcome to another video at Arena Hacks. My name is Kyle Wagner, and today I'm going to be doing that white-blue Flyers deck. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me, that I was telling you about earlier. Oh, another one. But we'll take a look at that, and then we'll get to some gameplay. I'll just show you what that's all about and go from there. Okay, so here's the deck. So we got some Kitesail Clerics, just some 1-drops with flying. Everything in here has flying except the Sea-Dasher Octopus, but we'll get to that. He's a mutator, so he mutates onto our flyers is basically what that is. So yeah, Kitesail Cleric, that kicker ability does come in handy if you draw this guy late game and you have a bunch of mana and you're like, no, I want more mana on a bigger, awesome creature. Well, you put that extra mana into his kicker ability, and that's actually not too bad. You can get a nice, powerful attack against your opponent. Sometimes that might even end the game. You tap out your opponent's only blockers, and you just end the game. During testing, there was a game I ended. Like, you won't see me do that in the video with Kitesail Cleric, but when I was testing this deck, yeah, I actually ended. There was at least 2 games I ended with this guy's kicker ability, and I ended up winning. So that's pretty good there. Skycat Sovereign, as you play your flying creatures, he just gets more powerful. And he also has that ability to create flying creature tokens. So that makes him more powerful right there on its own. It's a little clunky, 4 mana for a 1/1 flyer. However, it's just, yeah, it's an engine. You keep, as long as you have that mana, you just keep pumping out more flying creatures. Usually opponents people don't like seeing you with this guy. He dies pretty quickly. He starts out, well, I can't move the cursor else he disappears, but you can see he's just a 1/1 that he starts out with, so people find very easy to kill him early on. If you can get him bigger and stronger, he might stick around a little longer. So if you play him late game and you already have like 3 or 4 flyers on the battlefield, when you play him, he'll be like a 5/5. So he'll be harder to kill then, but other than that, I find he usually doesn't stick around too long. Opponents get scared of him pretty quick and they try to kill him as quickly as they can. Staggering Insight, great life gain, buffs your creature a little bit with a +1/+1. I mentioned the life gain with the lifelink, and whenever the creature deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. So great card advantage there. Watcher of the Spheres makes all your flying cheaper, which is great because there's so much flying in here. It really helps for the Dream Trawler at the bottom there. Brings his mana cost down. So that really helps there. These guys are only 2 mana themselves, and whenever you play a flying creature or a flying creature enters the battlefield, this guy gets buffed temporarily, just until end of turn. But it's still pretty good effect, especially if you have these guys and extra mana. You can just throw it into his ability, create some extra flyers, and buff this guy until end of turn, and then boom, there you go. He's more powerful, and pretty good guy. I like his ability mostly is that he makes your other flying cheaper, which is really cool. Banishing Light, because we need removal. You've seen me talk about that before. Same with Nahiri's Binding. I don't know if I've used it in decks before that I've showed you, but it's definitely good removal. And Sea-Dasher Octopus, more card draw. You mutate him on flash, so if your opponent doesn't block a creature, you just mutate him on, and then you get the damage through. Usually you don't have to worry about blocking because your creatures are all flying, and your opponent can't really do much about your flying anyway, usually. Unless they have flying too. Warden of Evos, Evos Isle. He does the same thing as the Watcher of Spheres, and that's about it. He doesn't have any other abilities beyond that other than flying. He's 3 mana 2/2 flyer who makes all your other flyers cheaper, so he's really handy there too. Really like making my flyers cheaper. It's really nice. This guy, I only have 2 copies. He's the only human, so the Sea-Dasher can't mutate onto him. I don't know if I mentioned, Sea-Dasher has flash too, so you can do that. Oh, I think I did mention that. Anyways, he's a human, so if you look, he's a human wizard, so you can't mutate the Sea-Dasher Octopus onto him, but that ability is actually a little more powerful than you might think. Opponents get very frustrated. You can see them starting to read all the cards. Why is my spell costing 2 more mana? Right? And it's because they're trying to target your flying, and this guy means he puts a tax. He puts a tax on all your opponent's spells for targeting your flying, and all you have is flying, so everything your opponent does that targets your stuff is taxed for an extra 2 mana, so that's really powerful there. Don't underestimate that. The ECD does that too in the second lore counter there. It does that same tax, it just does it on every spell they play, not just ones that target your flying. but we've talked about ECD before, and it's a great removal as well. Brings cards out of the graveyard if it stays on the battlefield long enough, which for me it almost never does. Like somebody always destroys it before it gets to that third one, which sucks because I usually have a Dream Trawler in my graveyard. Dream Trawler, this is the guy who's basically the pride and joy of this whole deck, of this whole deck. Now, you can go with other flyers too. You can go with him and then some other really powerful flyers, but then you're adding more rares in there, and this is supposed to be a budget deck, so I stuck with Dream Trawler because he is one of the more powerful flyers out there, and you can see why when you read the card. He's got lifelink, flying, of course, flyer. I called him a flyer. It's a flyer. So it's a 3/5, and if you read his ability, that he gets a +1/+0 until end of turn whenever you draw a card. But you also look right past that. Whenever he attacks, you draw a card. So at the beginning of your turn, when you draw a card, he becomes a 4/5. And then when you attack, you draw a card, and he becomes a 5/5. So basically, during your turn, he is a 5/5 every round, with lifelink and flying. And you draw a card when you attack with him. So that's really cool. That's why he's the big one in here. He gains you life. He does a lot of damage to your opponent. So he's big and powerful. Did I mention you draw a card? He gets you to draw cards, right? So you're just constantly filling your hand with removal and all the other stuff you need to help him out. You're filling your hand with more cards. You look at his bottom ability. If you discard a card and tap him, and you'll see me do that in the game. Where was I? Yeah, he gets hexproof until end of turn, and you have to tap him. If he's already tapped, it doesn't matter. You can still do that ability. You just have to discard a card. And he gets hexproof until end of turn. So it's a great way to protect him. He's got built-in card draw, so you're constantly, just make sure you always hold a land or something you're okay discarding and throwing in your graveyard. And then you can give him hexproof whenever you need to. So, and yes, you can interrupt when your opponent casts a spell that targets Dream Trawler. You can, in that moment, activate his ability, and the spell will resolve with no effect because the Dream Trawler will have hexproof. And that's about it of the deck. We got some planes here. 6 tapped lands is a little excessive. I do get a little frustrated. 6 is my limit though. I do get a little frustrated with the amount of tapped lands I get sometimes. But it is definitely needed to help curve out the mana. You can always try to find rares that come into play untapped. Unfortunately for white-blue, I don't think there really is any unless you go to Historic. I don't think there's any white-blue lands that come into play untapped. No, I don't think there is. I'm thinking about it. Every land I can think of that does it is Historic. So anyways, you might have to go with a lot of tapped lands to help balance out this white and blue mana. But other than that, that's the deck. So let's check it out. Okay. Not a bad starting hand. Too bad I can't play this guy first turn, but we can go third after I play this guy, or maybe a Staggering Insight. Let's see. Okay. Let's go that, since I don't have a first turn play. We'll play the tap land. And he goes Outseed. We'll go this way, this guy. Makes my flying cheaper, which only helps Dream Trawler right now because I have no colorless costs in any of my other 2 cards here. Ooh, double strike. Okay. So how am I going to do this? Staggering Insight? Actually, let's go Staggering Insight on this guy. Yeah, we'll Staggering Insight. We'll play Kitesail with this plane. Like so. This guy gets pumped up and we'll attack with him. And that's lifelink too. And we draw a card. Good stuff. Okay, let's see what opponent has here. He looks like he's mono white. I was just about to say, looks like he's going for a beatdown. I won't block it yet. 6 damage though, that's harsh. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Dang it, it's double white though. So if I cast it, I literally can't cast anything else. Yeah, even if I cast any of this white, dang. I was like, I want to cast something so he gets pumped up until end of turn and then I attack and gain more life. But I don't know. Yeah, let's just attack, draw my card, and see what I get. I was hoping for a different form of removal, but since I have 2 of them, I'll put one on his double strike guy. What do you do? Okay, just he let it resolve finally. Oh good, I was like, oh, don't have a disenchant, don't have a disenchant. Not too many people run disenchants, although they're good when your opponent has good enchantments and or artifacts that he's kicking your butt with. Okay, he's in a little trouble now. I think he was leaning on that guy with double strike to carry his team here. So let's give a scry, because I'm going to draw a card here. I do not want another one of those. Actually, I maybe should have... I have enough for the Dream Trawler as long as one of this guy or this guy stays on the battlefield. I'll have enough for the Dream Trawler. So let's play this guy, because he'll get pumped up. We'll pump up his buddy here. And then we'll attack. Draw a card. No, we'll save that for later. Ooh, now that I have 2 Watcher of the Spheres, I can play Dream Trawler for only its colored costs. Only 4. Okay, now he's got a flyer out there. So he can block something that I attack him with. Dream Trawler will leave me with 1 mana open. If I go this, I'll have 2 mana open. Let's go Dream Trawler, because if I play it pre-combat, this guy will get pumped up. So let's go Dream Trawler. What does he have? White. Yeah, he's mono white, so he might put some kind of enchantment like a Nahiri's Binding on it, which would really suck. Ooh, as long as I have a discard, and I can discard, he can get hexproof until end of turn. So that'll protect him. I just need to make sure I always have a card that I'm willing to discard. So let's double pump these other guys here. I go on like this. And see what happens. I'm building up quite a battlefield here. He must not have a lot of removal, or he's stuck and not getting it. Our battlefield is getting pretty wide here. So we'll go like that, hold this guy back for chump blocking. So that's lethal. He has to block 1. Oh, wait. Damn Dream Trawler for its ability. It's waiting for me. Whoops. Okay. Smart choice. I still gain the same amount of life, but yeah, I don't get to draw my extra card. So we'll go like this for an extra life gain. And hopefully, yeah. Discard this island first to give my Dream Trawler hexproof. And he just goes. Okay. It was not looking too good for him anyways, so next round. Yeah. I don't like that. These are, yeah, 3 turns without doing anything. I was noticing that yesterday when I was playing this deck, getting my 2 drops. Early game is just insane. There's a 1 drop. Freaking only white mana. I gotta keep it just because can't afford to mulligan another time. I've done it very few times where I've mulliganed twice. I started with a 5-card hand and then actually won the game. I've only done that like very few times. Once maybe, I don't know. But yeah, there's been a few other times I've mulliganed down to 5, but there was no point in really playing. Like I played a couple rounds and I was just like, yeah, I can't do it. Like this, I just have way too few cards. I started at way too much of a disadvantage. Did I not play this exact guy before? I feel like I did, where he plays the Hateful Eidolon. That's like some new thing people are doing. They're using these enchantments on their opponent's creatures. Since they control the enchantment, when the creature dies, the Hateful Eidolon allows them to draw a card. Oh, that would have been nice to... and this guy's got non-stop, too. Holy jeez. Wow. He's just got everything. And now I got screwed over. Like, nothing. Oh my god. I only have 4 of these and then like 2 other cards that are higher than 3 mana cost. That's 6 cards. And the amount of times I see these at the worst possible moment possible is uncanny. Let's get rid of his lifelinker here. It's allowing him to draw extra cards too with his little enchantments that he keeps throwing on my guys. Now he gets to dig up another. All about the auras. Auras that weaken your opponent. Enchanted creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. I should have used Banishing Light and exiled that guy because it's making his enchantments, his auras cheaper. So I have to hope for some mana and rely on my Dream Trawler because that enchantment he's got in his hand, that'll screw over any creature we play. So we'll just leave it like that for now. If I play this guy, he's just gonna die. Nothing like a perfect card draw. Like that last time I played, I said I've been playing decks like this a lot where they use these enchantments that kill your creatures and then the Hateful Eidolon. I've played them like opponents with these decks like twice now, and it's every time they always get their Hateful Eidolon. They always get one of these enchantments that always kill my creature right up. It's like, oh wow, must be nice to have every card you want in the exact order you want it. Wow, life must be good. 3/5. Yeah. I still can't play anything because he'll put this enchantment on it. I just gotta pray for 1 more mana. Games like this suck. Come on, deck. Well, now usually I don't want mana. I don't want to get flooded out, but now I'm like, come on, give me more mana. I need more removal too. Need to play a more controlling game, of course. Here, let's double cast these guys. No, I should have. Dang it. Because he's going to play an enchantment. I should have played a Banishing Light on his Eidolon because he's got another Eidolon on the battlefield. But if I play this Banishing Light, I'll be forced. He'll force me to sacrifice that Watcher of Spheres. He'll force me to sacrifice 1 anyways when I play my second one. I'll still have 1 and I'll be able to play Dream Trawler. But he's going to get an extra card advantage. He did not draw that many cards. He drew 2 cards with his Hateful Eidolon. How does he have so freaking many? That's not right. Something's not right there. He has way... There's no... If I give him more card advantage, he's going to have everything he wants. But I gotta go for it. This is a really shitty situation. Of course. Or I could sacrifice my other Watcher of Spheres. And then that way he won't draw a card. Because I can play... No, I can't play Banishing Light this turn. Son of a... Yeah, I have to go this way. Get your card draw, you bugger. Cheater. Like, fucking perfect stack. Like, holy jeez. Perfect card draw. Right into another after I deal with his first one. This is not magic. This is cheating. This is like... Like, I can't not believe this is cheating. How do you... I've never seen such perfection in my life. Ever. With anything. Oh my god, buddy. Can you let me go? Come on, guy. What do you got? You don't have anything. You have enchantments that you can't play unless it's your turn. I don't know what the game's waiting for you to do. Is this an instant? No, it's enchantment. It doesn't have flash. He's got something, man. Like, what is it that he can activate? The game's... we're waiting for him, but I don't know what he can even possibly do. He must have something in his hand. Yeah, he's making me tap it out. Or he's going to make me discard all my cards, that could be. He's going to hit it again with something during his turn, which is going to make me discard my other Banishing Light. What do you want to bet that's what he's going to do? Of course. So that sucks. But I have to keep that Dream Trawler. It's got hexproof until end of turn, so he can't target it with anything now. Go for some extra life right there. Smart. Come on, where's my removal, for shit's sakes? God, this is brutal. I can't play this either. I have to save him for a discard. And there's another card. Gain some life, that's good. Let's throw this down. Hopefully I only need to give him hexproof once. End turn, good. If he attacks with the Eidolon, I can kill it this time. He'll still gain the life, but I can kill it with my Warden of Evos. Of Evos Isle. It's a little suspicious why he's doing that, though. I have to try to block the damage from going through, though, so I can keep hitting him with my Dream Trawler. So he gets a card draw, more advantage. Jesus, look at his hand. There's no way. He's drawn 4 cards. How many does he have in his hand? He has 4 now. And he shatters the sky, of course. Of course, yeah. They always have everything they need. Nope. I'm not with a draw like that. I don't know. This is bullshit. Next game. Alright. I better get some more mana soon. Preferably white so I can start using this removal. Finally, I'm not playing one of those stupid enchantment decks with the Hateful Eidolon where they like literally always get everything they need every single game. I don't believe that's a style of deck. That's hacking the MTG server somehow. Like, I don't understand how they could possibly every game have such a perfect draw every single time. Like the Hateful Eidolon, every time, every time with an enchantment right away. If I play a creature, if anybody plays a creature, they kill it and draw a card immediately. Like, it's uncanny. It's just total BS how, like, they just... Oh, man. I still can't get over how perfect those guys draw their cards when they play those decks. Maybe I should make a deck like that, and maybe I'll always get the perfect card draw. Actually, you know what? I might try making a deck like that just to see what it's all about, because this is frustrating me playing against them, so... Maybe I'll try making one. Alright, here comes the Love-Struck Beast. Doesn't really scare me too much. Let's do a scry before I draw a card. Do I want that one? Nah, not yet. Nah, let's go like that. Throw it to the bottom. Throw in my attack. Flying over. That's what's nice about flying decks. You can usually just attack nicely and freely and don't have to worry about blocking. Let's go. Oh, this guy might have a great henge though. I think I should get rid of the Love Struck. I was going to use Nahiri's Binding, but yeah. Okay. That sucks. My card advantage is going. Okay, now I better get a creature though. I haven't seen. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I haven't seen a single creature pick up the whole game, but there's that one there that I got. Still, this deck has more creatures. Where the frig are they? They're constantly never in my hand. Ay. We'll go like that. So unless he plays board wipes, with which a green-red deck, I don't think there are many board wipes. I can give this guy protection, or hexproof. So, next turn I can play my ECD too. Would be nice. Another Edgewall. He's probably going to play Questing Beast, get a couple extra cards. He's out of mana though, so he can't do anything else. I can fly over his Bone Crusher. He has nothing with reach yet. No, nothing with reach. Feeding on my graveyard. I guess that's okay. I'm like, that's okay, but I'm like, well. His ooze is getting big and strong. Let's just attack first, see what I draw, and then play some removals. Do I want to go ECD? Maybe not yet. Dang, I won't be able to do two things. Okay. Let's put this on the ooze, because he can pump the ooze up and then attack, where his Bone Crusher is stuck at a power level of 4. And there's the henge. Kinda saw that coming. I was gonna say, hopefully it won't be enough. It might be enough too. I hope it's not. It hits me with that. Out of mana. So I'm gonna take a hit from the 1/1 and the Bone Crusher. Can't activate abilities, right? Nice. That is an activated ability. Sweet. So that means he can't empty my graveyard. I can get that creature back if I play this on his Bone Crusher. Yeah? Yeah, let's go ECD on his Bone Crusher. Hit him for 5. Okay, so he's down to 2. He'll gain 2 more life because of that. Yeah. Yeah, he'll get pumped up. That's fine. I've got lots of removal, so I'm not too afraid of him. He has the reach, right? So I should be a little afraid. But, alright. So now he's going to start he's going to empty that card in my graveyard. So he can only tap the thing once, so he only gets the 4 life. I'm still going to attack over his head with flying. He thinks he's got protection with the Gargarath, but I do have more removal sitting here, so we're in a pretty happy spot right now. Let's just throw that down for fun. Banishing Light on his Gargarath. That should be game. Yeah. He'll pump up to 5 and then hit him for exactly 5. Okay, so there was the deck. What did you guys think of it? I don't know if you guys consider this to be budget compared to some of my other decks. My other decks are like very beginner's budget decks because all the rares in them are meant to be towards people who just completed their beginning challenges and just getting started with Arena. But this is more of your standard budget deck where it does have more rares. It has a lot of cards that you won't have when you first get started in Arena, but it is a lot of uncommons and common cards. So let me know what you think. Apparently a weakness of this deck is black decks. For some reason, the only losses I had there were against black decks, especially those decks, the ones that I was telling you about, those ones where they play the enchantments that kill your creatures, and then they get to draw a card as long as they have that Hate to Lettle on, which they always seem to make sure is on the top of their deck every game for somehow. I don't know how they do that. I wish I knew how to do that. And I mentioned, I wish I knew how to hack the top of my deck too, and control what card I get. More. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you think about this. Do you think it's got too many rares and doesn't really meet your standard of budget? Or do you think it just maybe needs some improvement somewhere else? I really don't know how this deck could handle those black decks any better without adding mythics and really crazy rare spells in here and expensive cards. I can't see how this deck would handle those black decks. It was just, I could just see shit luck from those decks. Like they just had everything they need when they needed it, and they just happen to always be black decks. I don't think it has anything really to do with the deck that we went up against. But anyways, let me know what you think about that. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up, share it, subscribe to the channel. A nice little icon right up there for my little symbol. You just click that, you'll subscribe, and then try one of these other things out. So YouTube thinks you like the one over there. There's also my beginner's guide playlist is what it's called. A bunch of videos really help you get started. So check out all that stuff, and I'll see you at the next video. Cheers.